Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, is just clinging on, isn't he? He's living to see another political day in Downing Street.
Yeah, during a private meeting with the Parliamentary Labour Party, the Prime Minister told MPs that he is not prepared to walk away. Labour's Catherine Atkinson spoke to GBNews about what it was like inside that meeting.
What all of them will have seen is an absolutely packed room, so packed that they stopped letting people in, and what they will have heard was the resounding sound of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Labour parliamentarians united in support of our Prime Minister.
Well, meanwhile, Scottish Labour leader Anas Sarwar said the situation in Downing Street had become a distraction.
The situation in Downing Street is not good enough. There have been too many mistakes. They promised they were going to be different, but too much has happened. Have there been good things? Of course there have, many of them, but no one knows them and no one can hear them because they're being drowned out. That's why it cannot continue.
And an already thick plot thickens even further. There's now reports Anas Sarwar has been in discussions with none other than Health Secretary Wes Streeting about a potential takeover.
It's being dubbed Manic Monday for Keir Starmer, but there could be more to come as he holds his weekly cabinet meeting today. All right, and Shadow Secretary for Scotland, Andrew Bowie, is joining us now. Good morning, Andrew. Thank you for joining us. The Prime Minister absolutely on the ropes, but it's clung in. He's clung on to power, hasn't he? More so than, let's say, Boris Johnson was able to do for the Conservatives. How long do you think the Prime Minister's got left?
Well, look, it's impossible to tell how long he's got left, but he's definitely on the way out. He's clinging on to power just and is there at the whim of a cabinet who were, forced at gunpoint, frankly, to coordinate tweets in support of him yesterday as Anas Sarwar was making that, fool's errand into no man's land yesterday afternoon. I've been through this a few times before, as I'm sure many people will recognise, and these things have a habit of rumbling on until they don't. The end will come, and it will come quick, but just when that is for Labour members of Parliament to determine when they want to put this Prime Minister and indeed his cabinet out of their misery.
Anas Sarwar's statement yesterday was designed to make him out to be strong, to be standing up against a very weak Prime Minister. Do you think he's actually helped the Conservative Party out there in Scotland?
Well, look, what it demonstrates is that Anas Sarwar is completely out of the loop, out of control of events, and a voice of no consequence within the Labour movement or within the United Kingdom. He is leading a party now in Scotland, which is a part of a UK party that he himself has now expressed no confidence in the leadership of, and he's actually now expecting the Scottish people in May to put their crosses beside candidates of a party that he has got no confidence in the direction they're taking the wider United Kingdom in. I don't think it's tenable, frankly. And I actually feel a bit sorry for Anas Sarwar. He put his head above the parapet yesterday. He charged out into no man's land, looked behind him and saw nobody was there. But that just shows just how inconsequential Anas Sarwar actually is in the wider scheme of things, and why, whilst they're focused on navel-gazing and internal, ructions and the civil war that's engulfed the Labour Party, only the Scottish Conservatives are actually talking about the matters that actually matter to the people of Scotland in this election in May.
Andrew, do you want a general election now? Would you welcome a snap general election? Because you are still sitting, from the latest polls, in third place behind the Labour Party. Surely you wouldn't welcome a general election immediately, would you?
The Conservative Party is ready for a general election whenever it's called. Kemi's ready to step into Downing Street as Britain's next Prime Minister. But right now we're talking about the future of this Prime Minister, and it's for Labour MPs to determine when, as I said, they want to put him out of his misery. Because frankly, he doesn't look like he's enjoying it, does he? Well,
using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private internet access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private internet access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBnews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Well, who would be the person to take over from the Prime Minister? Look, at the end of the day, we're patriots here. We don't want the country to collapse for the sake of politicians to have their moments in power. But who's the best of a bad bunch? Who would you pick, Andrew, on the front bench of the Labour Party?
Goodness me, it is the best of a bad bunch. Look, I honestly, it's for Labour MPs to determine who they want to be the next leader of that party. But what we know is whoever is leading that party, they will not have the policies nor the authority to move this country forward. They've got no agenda for growth. Wes Streeting himself admitted it in a message to Peter Mandelson. Only the Conservative Party have a strong policy platform when it comes to economic growth, moving this country forward, creating the jobs of the future, and ensuring that this country is indeed stronger. So frankly, it doesn't matter who of the bad bunch is chosen to succeed Keir Starmer. All we know is that the next election can come soon enough for the sake of this country.
Andrew, with the government at the moment, there's a severe lack of judgment and loyalty. Now, the Conservative Party have had several people defect to the Reform UK. How much loyalty and judgment is there in the Conservative Party at the moment?
Now, look, the Conservative Party in Parliament right now, following those defections, has never felt more united. We are all united behind Kemi, and we're all united behind her plan to deliver a manifesto that will demonstrate to the British people that we've listened, that we've changed, that we've renewed, and that we have the policies that will get this country moving forward again. Yes, of course, we never like to see any of our colleagues leaving the party. It's with great sadness that we see them joining other parties. I think they've made a mistake, and I think in 3 years' time, when the British people have to choose between 5 more years of chaos, division, and a downward trajectory for this country under Labour, or a strong plan for growth and a strong economy with Kemi Bidnick, they will make the right choice. And I'm positive in my prediction the Conservative Party will emerge stronger from that election than we are right now.
Very briefly, Andrew, your party doesn't think Britain's broken. We've got the royal family engulfed in this Mandelson scandal with Andrew. We've got the government engulfed in scandal. Do you not think Britain is broken?
Britain's not broken beyond repair. It's not working as it should. Anybody can see that. The economy growth is sluggish, unemployment is increasing. We've got complete dissatisfaction and disillusionment with the establishment and with some of our, most strongly held and believed in bodies. But I believe we can turn it around, and that's why I'm a Conservative, because I believe in the best in this country. I believe that better days are possible, a brighter future is possible, but it's only possible if you work hard for that, and that's what the Conservative Party is standing for under Kemi Bidnick, and I look forward to doing my part in supporting her to make that change.
Oh.
Andrew, thank you very much. That's the Shadow Secretary for Scotland, Andrew Bowie there. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
All right, let's get some more reaction with Catherine Forster, GB News' chief political correspondent, live outside Downing Street. Catherine, you heard from the Shadow Secretary of State for Scotland there. What did you think of his comments?
Well, he said that the Prime Minister is on the way out, and for all the show of unity from Labour MPs and Cabinet Ministers, that is the general consensus here. But look, we had that big show of unity yesterday afternoon following the resignation of the comms boss, following the demand from Labour leader Anas Sarwar for the Prime Minister to resign. Suddenly, the Cabinet, who'd been so quiet, we hadn't heard a peep from them for 24 hours, one after the other started tweeting their support Then there was a packed meeting of Labour MPs, lots of support, and now ministers are gathering for cabinet. I just shouted at David Lammy, the Deputy Prime Minister, in the last couple of minutes, is the Prime Minister safe? And I got a smile and a thumbs up. So I think we can expect to see a lot of smiles. But look, fundamentally, the position has not changed. The Prime Minister was in trouble a couple of days ago. The Prime Minister is still in very, very deep trouble. What happened yesterday, I think, is that the Cabinet looked over the edge and decided not to jump. And the reason that they did that fundamentally is because they are not ready. This is not the right time for them. Why would they want to go now when they haven't gathered around a successor? We've got that damaging by-election coming up. We've got the local elections at the beginning of May. Why not wait till after that? And also, of course, we've got Wes Streeting. He wants the job. Mired in his relationship with Peter Mandelson, who, of course, was sacked as US ambassador following the detail of that very close relationship with convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. He tried to get ahead of that last night, publishing all his WhatsApps between them, he said. There were a few kisses, quite damaging. He said that the government had got no policy for growth and that Israel was committing genocide, things that I think if he'd said publicly, he probably would have got sacked for. Angela Rayner, of course, still owes £40,000 in stamp duty, so no one is really in the position to go now. So I think the Prime Minister taking a bit of a breath. We'll get through Cabinet this morning, PMQs tomorrow, and then Parliament goes into recess on Thursday. Everyone will take a bit of a break, and the hope will be that he can rebuild. But my goodness, he's got a mountain to climb. He says that while he's got breath in his body, he's going to fight on. He also says he's won every fight that he's ever fought. I'm not quite sure that people who remember the welfare rebellion or the U-turn over farmers' inheritance tax would entirely go along with that.
Or the other 15 as well,
yes.
Catherine. Thank you very much for joining us there live from Downing Street. Please keep on heckling those cabinet ministers as they arrive. We do have a graphic we'd love to put up for you of Keir Starmer's time in office versus other prime ministers. Let's have a little look there. So you can see Tony Blair leading the way at the bottom there. So Keir Starmer, 1 year, 220 days. He's still below Gordon Brown. He, of course, failed actually to call a snap election. He might have even won had he done so. Maybe that will be the lesson for the next Labour leader. Hence why I think everyone's on election watch. But he's only. I don't know whether at some point we can get one with Rishi Sunak up there because he's not that far behind Rishi Sunak. Fraser, is this it now? Do prime ministers only serve for sort of 2 and a bit years? Because Boris only served for 2 and a bit years. Yeah. Theresa May, 2 years. Was it 2 years to Theresa May as well? Liz Truss, 30 days. So there's an avrage somewhere around there, isn't there, to follow?
We've started to become basically Italy, where we're junking our leaders, after about a year and a bit.
Or Australia,
or Australia, yeah. And every leader is more unpopular than the last. So Starmer is the least popular prime minister in history, has the worst approval ratings. But then I'm sure his replacement might go even lower. And I think that just reflects not necessarily the person necessarily in charge, but the fact that our leaders are unable to make, significant change. They've been unable to turn the country around in ways that they promised.
Meanwhile, all of us out here are wondering what the hell's going on.